Imagine a miniature world inside your mind, a bustling city where tiny workers move around, carrying your emotions, thoughts, and memories from place to place. Normally, they work with a perfect sense of balance. They say yes to some things and no to others, keeping everything running smoothly. But for some of us, something strange happens in that inner world. One tiny, two-letter word becomes almost impossible to say no. This is the heart of people-pleasing, a pattern where you find yourself agreeing, obeying, or accepting things you don't actually want, all to avoid disappointing someone else. But listen, this isn't a weakness. It's a survival strategy your mind learned long ago, a program running deep in the background. Back in your miniature mind world, whenever conflict even hints at appearing, the workers panic. If someone seems upset, alarms start blaring. If someone frowns, the city lights flicker. If someone raises their voice, the workers scramble to restore peace, no matter the personal cost. Many people think people pleasers are just trying to be nice. But the truth is much deeper and more complex. People pleasing is rooted in fear. The fear of being disliked. The fear of disappointing someone you care about. The fear of conflict. And underneath it all, the deepest fear of all. The fear of being abandoned. Think about it. Somewhere in your past, the little workers inside your mind learned a painful lesson. That love came with conditions. That affection had a price tag. That your needs had to wait in line behind everyone else's. They learned that being good and agreeable was the key to staying safe. So they built a fundamental rule for your city. Always say yes. Always please. Always keep the peace. But over time, this rule, which was meant to protect you, becomes a prison. You start apologizing for things that aren't even your fault. You feel a strange sense of guilt for just resting or taking a break. You agree to plans you dread, just to keep things smooth. You hide your true feelings to avoid rocking the boat. And you become utterly exhausted from carrying the weight of everyone else's happiness on your shoulders. In the miniature world inside your mind, your little workers are getting tired. They're stacking everyone's expectations on their backs like heavy, crushing boxes. The streets of your inner city become crowded and chaotic, filled with demands and obligations that aren't even yours. But here is the truth that people rarely hear. People-pleasing is not who you are. It's who you had to become to survive. It was a clever, necessary strategy to stay safe, to avoid the sharp pain of rejection. And the workers inside you, they are not broken. They're not flawed. They learned this pattern to protect you, and they did a good job for a long time. But the good news is, they can learn a new one. A new, healthier pattern. A pattern where your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Where healthy boundaries are like strong, beautiful fences, not hostile walls. A world where you can say no without being consumed by fear. Where your honesty is safer and more valuable than your perfection. And where you learn that the right people will stay in your life, even when you can't meet their every expectation. When your inner workers start to understand this new truth, they begin lifting those heavy boxes off the streets. Your miniature world becomes lighter. It becomes calmer, more spacious. You can breathe again. People-pleasing is not your destiny. It is simply an old, outdated coping strategy. And the moment you begin choosing yourself, even in small, gentle, almost unnoticeable ways, the entire miniature world inside you begins to shift. And for the very first time, the word no doesn't feel frightening. It feels freeing. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that helps you understand your inner world.